I'm not a big research geek, but I want to share with you a couple things that really shaped my thinking. You may be familiar with the last name Amy Cuddy at the bottom. Who's familiar with Amy Cuddy's work? Okay, a bunch of hands went up. She's totally awesome. But let me talk about Sandy Pentland and Daniel Oldwin. Sandy Pentland is the head of a magical place at MIT in Boston called the Human Dynamics Lab. And that's what they do, they study human dynamics. And he did some research that I read about in Harvard Business Review that really grabbed my attention. So I want you to imagine, I want to imagine that, because he worked with 5 people, let's imagine you 5 are the research subjects. And this is what he did. He took the 5 of you and he said, you're going to have a chance to, on Friday, do a pitch to a group of venture capitalists, and one of the 5 of you is going to get a bunch of money for your pet project. Now, 2 days before that pitch, Pentland and Oldwin had arranged for a little cocktail party, and they measured what they call people's honest signals. And honest signals, according to Pentland and Oldwin, are the social signals that are unique to us humans. Like how close we get to people, how expressive we are, our energy, how much we smile, how much we sweat. So they measured that, and this is the part that got my attention. They said after the cocktail party, we predicted who would win the pitch. They had no idea what you guys are talking about, but they said, we know who's going to win the pitch. And they were correct. So the interviewer in Harvard Business Review said, well, how did you know? Like, what was the biggest differentiating factor? And Pentland said, personal energy. And when we hear that, we tend to think of extroverted, rah-rah energy. So it's not that, it's the energy that's coming from the whole being. It's about being connected to ourselves. And we'll break this apart some more because there are different ways of accessing this energy. And I believe that people who are more successful are connected to it, and the people we speak to are able to receive it. So that grabbed my attention because I believe that's true with every client I work with. Amy Cuddy is known for her power poses, does great videos about it if you haven't seen them. She has a great book out called Presence right now. But I first stumbled upon her work 3 years ago. Again, Amy Cuddy, she's the rock star professor at Harvard in the business school. She's the upstart professor among the boys, and she's really good. But this is what she talked about 3 years ago. It's the first time I saw this story. She said I'm going to use my friend Jane as an example. You don't have to stand up, but Jane and I know each other. And this is what Amy Cuddy would say. Let's say if I'm meeting Jane for the first time, I'm going to decide whether or not to take Jane seriously based on 2 criteria. As I'm talking to Jane, I'm quickly assessing whether Jane is competent, meaning, does she really know the stuff that she's supposed to know? Like, do I buy that she has the competence? The other part I'm assessing is warmth. And warmth is a code word for all sorts of social signals. And what Amy Cuddy said, and I believe this, and I'm weary of a lot of US research because I think it's culturally biased, but she works with researchers in Europe and in China, so this was really global research. And this conversation I have with people in Shanghai, I have it with people in France, and what she discovered is universal. She said if we lead primarily with competence, and think about networking situations, right, where at some point you talk about what you do. If you lead primarily with competence, people will admire you, and at some point they will start resenting you. If you lead primarily with warmth, people will like you, and at some point they start feeling sorry for you. So she says, if you want people to follow you, find the perfect balance between warmth and competence. And that sounds so obvious to me, but it's really hard to do, right? It's so funny that we're here tonight as we have the primaries and the elections going on, and I don't think there's a single leader running for office, that knows how to balance warmth and competence. So it's a hard balance, but I think it's a great social asset. So when I work with my C-suite executives, we have this conversation and we work on the balance between warmth and confidence. Let's dig a little deeper here. Because one thing I am assessing when I meet Jane for the first time is, geez, can I trust Jane, right?